Then dance.
Dear Diary, today at Eurogamer Expo 2011, I met Greg B of Tap repeatedly. He was swell. I liked him. I'm sure we'd have a great time if we met up again. So here I am. I'm here in Greg's house. As you can see, it's a lovely place, and we've spent all weekend playing a bunch of games.
All weekend, yeah, all
well,
weekend. The last 4 hours.
Spent 90% of it talking, and then
Yeah.
10% of it thinking about playing games, and then I think there was a 0.1% we got rounded out there. It was actually game playing. So, okay, so you played Necromancer, which I talked about last year on Where We Came From.
Yep.
What do you think about it? Because you wanted to have a go of it.
I did enjoy the music more than I expected to, but the actual mechanics itself, you know, the 3 different levels. I didn't get to the 3rd level, just died horribly most of the time. But the controls worked out a lot better than I expected them to, based on what you said. You know, regarding 360.
You didn't seem to have the problems I had.
No, not pressing the thumbstick in. So, but I thought the controls seemed spot on. It was only sort of getting those little bastard spiders. You know, the spiders.
You were actually much better at getting the spiders than I ever remember being. It was like, when I play, the spiders get me or a bunch of trees all the time. You were like, I'm hot for the spiders, I'm really going to get the spiders. And you got them like 90% of the time, really.
Yeah, I just had a bit of a problem trying to hang on to the trees in the first level, but then losing them horribly on the second level, and then I never got past it as a result. So.
You do feel bad about losing the trees, especially after you spend so much time growing the damn things.
But I could see myself getting quite addicted to it. Well, not addicted to it, but wanting to drop in, have a bit of an effort trying to get a good score, and got us emailing you about it.
Yeah. So we also go at Jesus vs Dinosaurs, which is
awesome.
Yeah, it's just a little.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
2-player competition.
How would you describe it?
Sure.
It's Tetris
So
meets a physics car game. Creationism.
Yeah.
Versus.
I mean, it's just
evolution.
It's just basically, you know, reusing because cloning the idea of Tetris and cloning the idea of a car game. You know, just reusing all ideas and coming up with something completely different.
Yeah,
which was mentioned on the article on Electron Dance last year that Doug Wilson wrote, Waking the Crowd, which it's one of those little games that you use in done exhibitions and stuff. So it's a 2-player game where you, basically whoever can get their cars over the other side more than.
Yeah, it's just about getting your car over the other side, past their car, and out of their end of the screen, or vice versa. And yeah, it's Darwin versus God, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of the actual scientific content, considering it involved time travel, building cars,
and the DeLorean,
and maybe even the existence of God. Some people dispute that's not particularly scientific either.
I started off trying to make a typical looking car, and you realise that the moment it hits the ground, the wheels push it backwards and onto its top, so it can't move. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I'll put some wheels.
Yeah, you start making the stupid shapes which are like almost like spider cars. So like,
U-shapes
I've got crosses. I've got wheels on the side. It's bound to go, right?
Yeah, it's chaos. It's great. It was a lot of fun.
We forgot to mention all these bombs get dropped into the mix as well. It was just a lot of fun, and I think we tried to craft our cars with a bit more care as the game went on, but generally it was just like almost randomness.
Yeah, it does.
Quick,
it doesn't.
Drop. Quick, drop. Hey, I've got some bombs.
Yeah, and you can make the best car. You're like, whoa, now this car is going places. This car is so going over the other side of the screen, and it would drop down, and the other person's car would just knock it off the screen. What have you done? So
and
yeah.
then all of a sudden you've got great big fuck off blocks. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh,
the
I
tiny
remember-
ones. The tiny ones.
I loved it, like, right, this is gonna go places, and you put the wheel in the right place, and then you're just massive, gigantic car just sitting there.
Just
and I'm thinking,
blocking the way.
how am I supposed to win?
No.
You just put a big wall in.
Yeah, but you did win a lot.
I did.
I think we played a short game and 2 long games, and you defeated me on 2 long games.
I don't know how I did that.
So
'cause
God won in the end.
I can't believe I was playing God. So we spent some time on Shoot First, which is a roguelike where you're shooting. Well, I guess it's a bit of almost like Gauntlet in a roguelike.
Yeah, with the sort of directional shooter.
But that was co-op as
Um,
well. We played co-op.
Yeah, co-op directional shooter roguelike. Quite lo-fi looking. It's got an option for scan lines, all that sort of
Jesus,
stuff.
but it was hard work. It was really
How far
hard
did we
work.
get? Floor.
I think our last game, I think it was floor 4, I think.
I used the phrase "we." It was more you. Let's be
But on the
honest.
first couple of games, I was dying all the time, and you were just happy with your manly armor.
Yeah, armor +3. That's right.
And then I think on the last game, I just learned not to rush in. And you hadn't worked on that lesson yet, because I died so much.
Yeah,
I robbed you of that lesson.
And you kept stealing my map.
I was helpful. I was taking it.
Yes. What did you have? You had a chainmail skirt and a cranium helmet on.
You weren't supposed
that
to
was what
fucking
I
mention
needed.
that
Yeah.
on the video. I gotta edit this out now. Bloody hell. I wasn't wearing a skirt, it was chainmail.
Well, it looked good.
Don't say that. So I think that was quite tough. I think we
It
had-
was tough. I did have some fun out with it
Yeah.
actually. I did enjoy it. It was just like all roguelikes, whether it's Binding of Isaac or Dungeons of Dreadmore. I can't play roguelikes for too long, so it's one of them I like to dip into with a friend, and then
It's not.
come back another time.
I mean, that last game we played went on for quite some time. Well, I mean, I went on for
You
some
lasted
time.
longer. I died within a few moments of getting onto the new floor.
But then you've got that, I level up all the time, and you weren't leveling up because you were dying.
I was-
And it was
yeah.
like, right, bring up the newbie, put him out in front of the lions. Well done.
Yeah.
Now let a real man with his gigantic.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was coming back level 2. You was level 5 or 6. Loads of equipment. I was coming back with a little potato gun. Level 2. Now you're out running like Arnie,
But I was still doing the same thing. I was like hanging back, hanging up, and you were like, right,
Come
I'm
on,
gonna take these guys down.
Let's do it.
Oh God, Greg's gone again. Right, guess I'll do the level again alone. So there was then I put you through SCP-087,
Oh no.
which was the small free experimental game did.
Yeah, I think
was
I'm.
based on the Endless Staircase from the SCP Foundation site.
Yes, and I'm not familiar with the web. Well, I am familiar with the website. I've only seen a couple of the crazy entries in it, and I had actually forgot about it until you mentioned it. But I think I'm getting worse with scarier games. I'm turning into a bigger wet lettuce. This game, I didn't know anything about it. Joel just put me on it, and it was sort of middle of the day. I did close the curtains, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I closed the curtains. And I thought, usually I don't like to play scary games with people next to me because I sort of think it takes the edge off the atmosphere a little bit, but no.
Not this time.
No, not this time. It's really quite incredible because it's such a simple idea, and there's so much anxiety and tension. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to really talk about. Basically, you're descending some steps.
That's pretty much it.
And that is pretty much it, but it's all about anxiety, tension and complacency, and it was just like my eyes started watering, and which is usually a good sign that something's scaring me. And I was just basically going, oh, this is horrible, Joel, this is horrible, oh my god.
I know.
What is that
I think
noise?
I actually said to you at one point, Greg, we can just stop this anytime you want.
You did say
And
that.
I think at that point you thought, no, I'm no worse. What floor did you get to?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. I thought I'm going to match you, Joel. I'm just going to match you, and yeah.
But what's interesting, it is procedurally generated. It's not the same every time you play it.
There isn't.
When I was watching you play it, it actually behaved differently from what I remember it.
Yeah, see.
The one time I played it, the one time. I don't know if I could do it again. I had headphones on, quiet at night.
And you could hear every little noise, whereas I had it through the surround setup that I've got, and certain things were missing, but I mean, it didn't diminish the experience whatsoever.
See, at least I could take my headphones off. I do remember now, when I was playing it first time, I was like, whoa, that's a bit tense. Just move the headphones forward a little bit. Instead of turning the volume down, I can just pretend I'm not there. That's easier.
Oh, it was horrible.
So
my hands were sweating.
That was horrible. So it gets a thumbs up. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Neither of us have played Amnesia yet, so God knows how we're going to get through that.
Yeah, basically, I'd say that it's probably one of the scariest little experiences I've ever encountered.
Drill Killer.
And then we played Drill Killer, which was a nice, light-hearted stab at the
stab. It's not a stab. It's a drill.
Yeah, a light-hearted drill at the sort of slasher horror movie. And you didn't realise it was random and procedurally generated.
It's not the same.
Well, it's not procedurally generated, is it? Or
no, I think it depends on what you choose.
Yeah.
And it actually does behave differently on some of what you don't even think are proper choices. No one knows why the Drill Killer does this. But it was a lot of fun. It is very funny. I had to bring it down here to show you just because it's just so funny.
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. The commonly asked questions about the Drill Killer.
Yeah, why does the Drill Killer do this?
If you find that screen, it's it's worth a look.
Why do teenagers come to this house? Nobody knows. I love that. But it's by the guy who did Space Funeral,
which I must check out. I think
you're gonna have to after that.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing we played was 6 Shots of Whiskey. Basically just a game where the idea is supposed to be played over the internet where two people just say, okay, I'm going to put my name, your name in here, and you'll do it on your side, and we can do a gunfight together.
Yeah.
So it takes a name, basically a string of characters, takes the name and converts it into a character, and it's the same every time. And you come up with a character, and basically these two characters fight.
Yeah,
guns singing battle.
It sort of generates some
punch
stats.
in the chest, or a glare.
Yeah, it gives you sort of each character gets 3 special abilities and a bunch of stats.
Yeah.
And then they duke it out on the next screen.
And it's the same every time. It's the same every time.
As we discovered, because I put Gegis versus Joel. Joel won. Then it was Joel versus Steerpike. Joel won.
Yeah.
Then it was Joel versus Lewis.
Lewis, yeah.
I think I tried Lewis. Joel won. I think that's why I brought the game round. Just so he could win at something.
I didn't even check all that. I checked Joel fighting Greg, and Greg won.
Yeah, well,
and you didn't use that.
Yeah, no, we switched that around at the end, and I was like, yay, I won. Yay, it was a hollow victory. Yeah. You'd already kicked everyone else's ass.
That's right. Alright then, Greg, I want to have just a rapid fire round of 20 questions for you, just to test your knowledge, and there could be a prize in it for you if you win.
Whoa!
So let's just go. Question number 1. How did you feel when you heard that Prey 2 could possibly be cancelled?
Indifferent, because I've not read an awful lot about Prey 2.
Okay, that's very disappointing. Okay, I'll go with correct because it's your actual answer. 2. Tower defense, yay or nay?
Yay!
No, incorrect. The answer was Immortal Defense. What was your game of 2011?
Frozen Synapse.
Okay, correct. Question 4. What was your game of the last 2 weeks?
Vessel.
Correct. What is your favourite game from the following list? Planescape Torment.
Planescape Torment.
Very good, correct. What the fuck was Braid about?
I have no idea.
Correct, no one knows.
Yay!
Do you pretend to like tap repeatedly Overlord Steerpike in the hope of killing him, stealing his Overlord status, and all his concubines?
Definitely stealing all his concubines.
Correct. Do you actually call your brother Lewis B, or just that guy who was insane into Guild Wars 2?
Yeah, that guy who's insane on Guild Wars 2.
Correct. What's your favourite piece that you've written on tap?
I don't know, I always think of the Cannon Fodder article. Yeah.
Okay. Correct.
Hey.
Give an example of a dessert.
Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie.
That's great. Yeah, anything like cake or ice cream would have done that. Do you like tea?
Yes.
Would you like to come back to my place? Oh, hang on. Sorry, more questions. Is this a dream, or a dream within a dream, or a dream within a dream within a dream?
I got lost somewhere in that question.
Okay, incorrect then. In Portal, is a cake a meme?
Yes.
Oh, incorrect. It's a dessert. We just covered this. What is your favourite male video game character?
Is Mort a male?
Yeah, I think so. You're going to go for that, is it?
Yeah, not very...
Okay,
not many skulls have penises, do they?
Okay. What is your favourite female character in video games?
Samus Aran from the Super Metroid.
I'm not accepting that. No, I'm going to say Jade from Beyond Good and Evil.
Okay.
What is your favourite games blog?
Electron Dan.
Of course. Correct. Have you finished reading Where We Came From to test the answer to your previous question?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
We have all the truth we need here.
It's still on my list to do. I do have the list. Honestly, there's a list of things I need to do. Oh, damn, I've lost the list.
Oh. If you were asked if you liked Skyrim, what would you reply?
It's amazing, just for Armand.
Incorrect. You'd say, Fusro Da! Okay, that's what you would say.
What's that? I say what?
Okay, last question. Tim Schafer. It's all finished. Tim Schafer or Richard Hoffman?
I'm going to say Tim Schafer because I've not played as much of Kart Life as I really ought to.
Okay, well, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Out of that, you had 16.5 questions correct.
Hey.
And you get an Easter egg which you shouldn't share with anybody.
Oh, it's marble and organic.
You can see what you can be. Let go of what you have been. See the world through a different set of eyes. If you can face the future, it sets you free from the past. Turn around.
So, well, thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you, Joel. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you for providing shelter in this wonderful, lovely place.
Yay.
Of Northern England.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take that again. That was rubbish.
Yeah.
I can't end on that.